Thank you, Mr. President. I want to thank Senator Gianaris and Senator Skoufis for their partnership and support in allowing us to celebrate our heritage and our history today. This year, we're celebrating the 202nd anniversary of Greece's independence after 400 years of subjugation and slavery by the Ottoman Empire. On March 25, 1821, revolutionary fighters gathered together with Metropolitan Germanos in the monastery of Agia Lavra in the village of Kalavrita, which I think is where Senator Gianaris' family is from, and declared the beginning of the revolution against Ottoman oppression. What followed was a 7-year war that ended with the creation of the Hellenic Republic and would lead to the spread of revolutionary fervor across the European continent and would remake the world. As a fourth-generation Greek American, I am proud of this history. I think about the words of the Greek national anthem, the Hymn to Liberty, by Dionysios Solomos. I shall always recognize you by the dreadful sword you hold, as the earth with searching vision you survey with spirit bold. From the Greeks of old, whose dying brought to life and spirit free, now with ancient valor rising, let us hail you, O liberty. Every time I hear that anthem, I swell with pride at the poem's conclusion, a resounding ode to the price and cost of national freedom. How fitting to reflect on these words as we see the people of Ukraine fight for the survival of their country and paying for their liberty with their lives. Today, we are joined in the chamber by representatives of both the Hellenic Republic and the Republic of Cyprus because the history and destiny of the Greek and Cypriot people are shared and linked together, and we thank the Consul General for being with us here today. But it's not just the history of the revolution and Greece's independence that I'm proud to celebrate. It's the contributions of the Greek American community to our nation that are also worthy of praise and celebration. For the past 100 plus years, Greeks have emigrated to the United States in search of peace, stability, and a better life for themselves and their families. They came to escape the persecutions of the Ottoman Empire. They came to be spared the devastations of World War I. They came to be saved from the terrors of the Asia Minor Holocaust and the burning of Smyrna. They came to be spared the horrors of World War II. They came to find peace during the Greek Civil War. They came to seek safety and opportunity during the unrest of the 60s and 70s. For 100 plus years, Greeks have sought out the light of freedom offered by Lady Liberty and came to the United States in the hopes of a better life. When the United States adopted immigration quotas in 1924, it would only accept 100 Greeks per year to come into this country. And yet still our people came by the hundreds and by the thousands and tens of thousands. And let's not forget just how unwanted Greeks were in this country. Greek immigrants endured decades of harassment, intimidation, discrimination, and violence, all because they looked different than other Americans, spoke a different language from other Americans, and took low-paying jobs away from other Americans. In fact, the Ku Klux Klan viewed Greek immigrants as a threat to the United States. They attacked Greek businesses, burned crosses on Greek lawns, encouraged doctors to sterilize Greek women, and beat, and even in some cases murdered, Greek immigrants. It was not uncommon to see "No Greeks Wanted" signs in store windows, or even to see Greek men flogged for having dared to date a white woman. Greek immigrants were encouraged to prove themselves of being equal to whites by taking undesirable jobs such as building railroads, cleaning sewage, laying pavement, and working in factories. And yet still our people came, enduring injustice after injustice, all in the hopes of living a better life here. They didn't just come for themselves, but for their children and their children's children. They came here so that one day, 100 years later, 75 years later, 50 years later, there could be 3 Greek Americans elected to serve their communities in a body as august as the New York State Senate. And so as we stand here today celebrating the 202nd anniversary of Greek independence and declare Greek History Month in the state of New York, I am ever hopeful for the future of our community here in America. And this moment represents an opportunity for reflection. At a time when individuals across our country are being subjected to violence, bigotry, and discrimination because they come from different countries, speak different languages, have different customs, eat different foods, it's incumbent upon those of us whose ancestors endured similar treatment to stand up and condemn the ugliness of racism wherever it rears its ugly head. That we remember the struggles of our forefathers and we open our hands and we open our hearts to all those whose stories mirror our own and embrace our fellow human beings as true brothers and sisters. It's with this spirit that I'm particularly proud that today that we're joined as well by His Eminence Archbishop Epilephoros of America, the spiritual leader of the Greek Orthodox Church in the United States. For some of my colleagues who may not know, the Greek Orthodox Church in America has long played an active role in the advancement of civil, political, and human rights in this country. The American Hellenic Educational Progressive Association, better known as AHEPA, was founded in 1922 in Atlanta, Georgia, to counter the bigotry and racism of the KKK. We're also joined here by some of the national leadership from AHEPA in the gallery. It was our own Archbishop Iakovos who joined Dr. King in Selma, attended the funeral of Reverend James Reeb, and marched across the Edmund Pettus Bridge in the fight for equality for Black Americans. And during the protests for racial justice after the murder of George Floyd, it was Archbishop Epilephoros who was out there in the streets, just as many of us were, marching to support the movement for Black lives. So, Mr. President, on today, March 22nd, and with great pride and humility, I thank my colleagues for their indulgence and for their support of this resolution, and I wish all Greeks and Phil-Hellenes everywhere a happy Greek Independence Day. Ζήτω η Ελλάδα. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Gennardis. To our guests, I welcome you on behalf of the Senate. We extend to you the privileges and courtesies of this House. Please rise and be recognized.